Hey everyone, it's Momentary Flux. Welcome back to Factorio, where we are still working on version 17.32. After the blizzard of updates last week, they've been relatively silent. There have been no new updates since then. So anyway, we're going to carry on. We're going to work on towards getting the full logistics system today, which means I have to make some yellow beakers to get the required technology of the logistics network. I have a list of things to do. I'm going to get a list, so let's get started. The first thing I need to do is I need to get these low density structures out of this box and get back to work on making some more yellow beakers. One of the things I wanted to do, and in fact I've given this a little bit of thought over the weekend, was whether or not I want to continue this bus. I'm not 100% sold that I shouldn't. The question is, how do we get around this? How do we get around the coal patch here in order to make that happen? So I was wondering if, I'm not sure, I don't think that the red undergrounds will go far enough, but I'm going to make a couple of those just to see if they can get around there. I also need to have a reason for to get past this, depending on what I would need to build. All right. Well, anyway, as you can see by the very thin output of copper here, we need to increase that. So that's going to be the first thing we do. Let these little robots catch up with me. So let's do that. Let's grab some iron and save those guys as the trip. Make sure that I have plenty of iron. Okay, and I'm going to queue up a bunch more. Before I queue anything up, I want to make sure that I have enough supplies, and I'm going to make another column of copper furnaces. But I believe I have some. I've already made some steel furnaces to help things be a little bit faster. Okay, it looks like I got enough stuff to do this, so let's get building. So I'm going to leave 3 spaces here. I'm leaving these spaces basically for, I think the electric furnaces are 1 wider if you make a column of electric furnaces. And then I need 2 spaces for the next electrical, the substations. So that's why I'm leaving 3 spaces there. Oh, looks like I got this boxes in my way here. Can I just grab everything off of there? What is that, a pump? Alright, let's make another box down here, out of the way, and we'll just put that stuff in there. So I got rid of the pump, the old telephone poles. What else? Wood. Old mining drills. And let's get rid of that old assembly machine too while we're at it. Let's get rid of those old bullets. Okay. Just a little bit more wood. Pick that up. In fact, I can get rid of that box too. There we go. Okay. I have some steel ups. So let's just start dropping those down. I think I could blueprint this, but I think it's faster at this point if I do it by hand because the robots are so dang slow. Alright, so this is going to be... we might have to look at getting some more drills on the coal as well, it looks like. I don't want to starve the power system of coal. We do have that coal down below, but we're not ready to like hook that up yet. Let's just keep building. Yeah, let's just put this up let's put this up here. Or combine, just so that I have a little easier time of bringing it into the line here. That's not going to work, is it? Well, since I'm doing that, I might as well just put it back where it should be, right? Just a minor preference. Okay. Is that going to catch everything? No. So we'll just have to do it like this. I thought with these bigger power poles it would be a little bit easier in this situation, but it looks like if I don't put them all in, they either won't connect or they won't get the full coverage. So what the heck, why not? Let's just connect this real quick so that everything stops blinking. There we go. It's just a little too much blinking for me today. All right, let's connect coal. And then we just need to connect our copper ore. And there we have it. Let's go check on the copper, or not the copper, the coal. That's pretty critical. It's absolutely vital that we keep this coal coming for our power, because if our power drops, we're sunk. Let's see here. I think if can we add another row? It's a little bit complicated by this this iron patch. I guess we could add a couple more drills, but maybe over this far. Will this one let me? No. But this one will. Let's connect this up. This will be a little, I mean, it's 5 drills only, but you know, as part of the whole, it's still a good percentage more. It should get the belt filled back up. We're gonna have to keep the mental note of that though. More coal, a better source of coal. Is that a coal patch? No, that's just some shadows on the land. Okay, so we've got the coal patch here. We actually do have a big coal patch over there by the oil. There's another one down here, so it's not like we're lacking for coal. It's just that we're gonna have to hook it up. Have another one up here too. Yeah, we still have quite a bit. It's just a matter of like. We just need to use it. We need to use it more. I'm having trouble talking today. Let's go back down here. Let's see what this new column did. It's we're not filling up quite as much. So ore, copper ore is pretty full still. But we're definitely using it up. We'll see how that pans out. What we need to do, though, before I forget, is we need to just keep making more of these. I need to get up to 500 of these yellow beakers. I'm gonna have to go get some more. Get some more materials, I believe. If I ride the conveyor belt, the really slow robots can catch up to me. Let's see how we're doing. I have 90 blue cards left. I've got a bunch of low density structures. I have plenty of flying robot frames. So basically just waiting for stuff to build. I already have so many queued up. I don't want to queue up too many more because I might have to build some other stuff as well. Let me drop off this excess coal. We could do a little cleaning here. Solid fuel. I'm a little bit worried about attacks starting again. That's another thing to consider. So let me look here at this coal line. So we've got coal coming up here that feeds the plastic and feeds the explosives. If I just trace a path up here, did I leave enough room? I don't think I left enough room for me to weave it up through here to get up to there. To get up to the smelting and power section. But it definitely looks like that the addition of those 5 more miners is having an impact. One thing I could do, since it's a single line, I could either double the line up, or since the line is actually not completely full, I guess I could put a balancer in here, which might help the situation a little bit. So might as well do that. All right, well that'll even the sides out, so we don't have these big gaps on the right hand side of the line. Okay, so I'm making a bunch of stuff right now, so let me think about what we can do in the meantime while that's being made. I mean, it's basically just the most critical thing to do currently. So I've got this train tracks over here, and it looks like we just have this single spur. I'm wondering if maybe if I make a T-junction here, that would allow me to pick up this rock and allow me to go off that way, and then I could go up here as well and tap into this humongous iron ore, or excuse me, copper ore. So I suppose I could go start working on that just to get things started. Do I have any roboports? I did make roboports. Okay. That was another thing to do, is just continue to add more roboports. Let's just put this guy right here. Nope. Let's put him down a little bit. I want to make sure that my logistics network stays connected. Alright, so if we put one there, and then we put another one up here. How about here? Will it fit? Won't fit there. Do we want to put it in the... We can't put it in the middle either. That's alright. We'll put it here. Now these things, you know, like I said before, I used to set them up in a set grid. You know, I like to see it, you know, these yellow connecting lines, you know, really vertical, horizontal, 90-degree angles on everything. But due to the nature of just having to redesign the factory a lot, and also just experience, I've come to see that that's not super important. In fact, it's almost better if you just put more of these things around, because it turns out, you know, when you do get a lot of robots, you're going to need a lot of charging stations anyway. Speaking of power, it looks like our power is in... It was shooting up into the yellow. Now we're researching nuclear power, and the reason I want to research nuclear power right now is because I want to get these steam turbines, and just switch these all out to steam turbines. They produce less pollution, and they basically have the same output even when they're not being used by a nuclear reactor with the much higher temperatures. These here raise the temperature to 165 centigrade, and the nuclear reactor raises it to 500, I believe, I think is the maximum. I think you can get up to 1,000, but I'm not entirely sure. But I think the highest that the steam turbines can use is 500 centigrade. So I want to get those in place, and we'll expand that out a bit. And the problem there would just be we're going to need more coal. I'm starting to wonder, maybe instead of doing the copper right now, I should get the coal. Let's do that. Okay. Let's queue up some more mining drills, and if I have to cancel some of that science, I'll do that. I think I can just. This isn't that far. I mean, it's within eyesight of the rest of my factory, so I think I'm going to bring up this coal. Yeah, let's do it. In fact, what am I doing here? I got robots. Let's do this. They're faster mining than I am, even when they're slow. So let's see here. Where's the topmost coal spot? I think it's here. I think this is more critical than the copper. If our power goes down, we're basically toast. I do have laser turrets, and or at least the technology to make them. And I want to use them, but I can't do that without a reliable power source. So that's another reason why this is, I think, more critical. So let's get this going here. So, it's so dark. When it's night, it really gets dark here, doesn't it? All right, let's add a little wrong side. Let's get some big power poles here. Things connected up. I don't want to just string it across the center of my chemical area. I think that's okay. So how many more drills do I have? I just have 2. I can't even tell. There's a lot of grass here. It's hard to tell if there's if that's somewhere I should be mining or not. Okay, let's cancel these. Cancel out that science. We'll put it at the back of the line so we can get a few more mining drills here. I'd like to get this second line started at least. Put it on the bottom. Okay, so while those are being built, let's take a look at our path here to connect this. I don't want to run it through anything that if I don't have to. So I think if I get it up to, if I bring it in, actually, since these are going to be converted to electric, I think what I want to do is I want to bring it up here and have it be just for power. So I'll reverse that line and I'll just bring it in there for power. I think this is, I'm clear of all of my chemical stuff, all my oil processing. So I think if I just bring it through here, we'll be fine. And if I ever need to move that, that's super easy. So no big deal. I can also double this lineup. I have plenty of space there. Looks like I'm out of belts, so let's go grab some more belts. I have a couple other games of Factorio that I'm playing when I'm not recording this session, so I get a little confused about where things are in my base just because I have them in different spots in the different games. Okay, so that's blue, or excuse me, green science. There's the belts up here. Let's let these guys catch up. Cool. Where are those guys going? They must be going to get me belts, but since I already have the belts, they're going to stop. And what is our total here? So we're almost halfway there with the yellow beakers. And once that's done, that's going to just make life easier overall for in every aspect. Okay, here we go. So now we've got that connected. Let me drop off the mining drills that I made. So 10 more of those. That should fill out this line pretty good. Power it up. And then let's just go fix the other end here. Have to keep an eye, you know, before I run off, let's make a couple laser turrets and put a little small wall here. Clear that out a little bit. I'm a little worried about this getting attacked. I can totally see that happening. I have a bunch of bricks, but I don't have any walls, but I can make some walls. Let's cancel the science again. Get that other stuff made before I just want to do this before I take off. I should be picking up some green cards just to help with this production stuff. But that'll have to wait. Okay, so what are we going to need? We're going to need some power over here. Let's just put these into a solid block. And as soon as our wall gets built, we'll drop that stuff into place. I'm looking through my inventory while I'm waiting here and just seeing. I have a couple of ores that I could get rid of. Some other stuff. Yeah, this is going to take a bit, isn't it? Alright. Well, I've got one there, just in case. Let's go fix this and I can come back. I thought it would be quicker. Watching nuclear power, when we started this episode, it was at 28%. And the reason it's so slow, I think, is just because, well, number one, it's taking 800 beakers, which is quite a lot. And number two is just because we're pretty low on copper still. Now this is interesting. I'm starting to get these achievements again for some reason. They weren't working before. Alright, let's yank up this. Okay, so that disconnects the old coal source, and we put in the new one here. Let's double check everything's headed the right direction. It looks good, and I think I have enough room here. I can add a little bit more too. We'll see how things look. I decided this game, I don't know if I've talked about this before, that I'm really not planning on doing any solar power. I'm in a very tree infested place, if you want to say, and I know that there's some room, but I just don't. Number one, I don't feel like chopping down all the trees because I like them there for pollution absorption, and I just wanted to try it without making giant solar arrays. I think with nuclear power and stuff, you can make so much power with in the solar just takes so many resources and so much time to set it all up. I just think I'm going to prefer going this route with steam and nuclear, if you will, assuming it all gets built eventually. The question is sort of that bridging the gap between steam and nuclear is a bit tough, because I'm gonna be creating a lot of pollution, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to switch over to that steam power, or the steam turbines, I should say. All right, let's finish up this, and then we can maybe go back and look at copper. Start maybe, if not finish making a new station, at least get started in that direction. Okay, the walls are built. I'm just going to do a partial wall. They're not going to be coming from my factory. So I will just put a wall here. And I think that should be good enough. And with this amount of mining drills, that's going to last a long time for just power. So I like that. I feel much more secure. You know what? Now that I think about it, this could be another option for powering. If we ever get low on coal, which I don't see happening either, we can always use solid fuel. I mean, there's always so much of that stuff. Looks like we're full up on natural gas, which is great. That won't last, I'm sure. Copper doesn't look too bad, but you know, we always need to plan for the future, and I always like to see full belts. So while we're making more of these, in fact, do I need to grab some more resources? Yeah, I should. Wait for these little guys to catch up. Come on. There you go. While we're waiting for those to build, I'll go work on those train tracks. Wow, this is almost full. I'm actually very surprised by this. These things take a long time to build, but I guess I made enough that it's not a problem. Okay, so we got 36 being made. That means about 100. Each one of those I make produces 3 beakers. So that's about 100. We're going to need more blue cards. I can't get too much, because if I do and I stop production, my inventory will overflow. I could get rid of some of this stuff, though. Make some room. A few things, anyway. What else could I get rid of? I got so many of these long-handed inserters. I could get rid of a few of those. I have one box that I could drop those off in. Well, let's grab some more. Let's grab some more low-density structures. The cards and robot frames don't take up quite as much space. Well, that's all we have of those. So these are being built very slowly because just of the amount of copper. They're at the end of the line there. And even though I've done my best to kind of balance things out, they're just not getting very much. All right. Well, we know what we need to do. So let's get on it. I thought about putting down a roboport there, but I think I'm not going to. I think we're at the point with our power situation where I don't want to add any more until until we get the next level of power. Add more stuff. Okay, so I'm looking at the mini map here, just thinking in my head. I think I want to make a T section, intersection up here that goes north of this rock patch, but leaves room for me to put a station there. So if I put it, let's pull up the tracks here. So if I drive by this way, I can put a station vertically. So let's do that. Let's try to miss some of these trees too. So let's see here. We'll just sketch this out. I typically leave three track spaces between my my tracks, so let's continue to do that. Well, I need to do some detail work, so of course it's night. Okay, so our train is clockwise, so it's going to need to come off of here. So this needs to connect to the far track. Go 2 more spaces, curve that around. Let's bring over the second line, second track. Okay, so the return train comes this way. So if that train wants to come here, nope. There we go. If that train wants to come down this way, it can. And then let's see here. What's the other one we need to do here? If we want to, if this train wants to go up there, then it can. Okay, so let's put some signals on there. So we're coming through here. We want one there, one there. And I typically just like to just say don't enter this intersection unless everything's green. So I could signal it up for each one of these little crossovers, but I think this to me this is better. It might slow things down a tiny bit if you have a ton of trains, but I don't think it's really that much of a problem. So basically the trains here are saying if you get to these lights going any direction, whichever direction you're coming from, you can see, in fact, there's a good example. Do not enter the intersection unless the entire thing is clear. And that will save me many headaches of trains that decide like to get halfway through and they can't get through, etc., etc. So, and with this little mess, I think it's even, it's even better. One thing I should do probably is I probably should blueprint this real quick. Uh-oh. Looks like we're finally getting attacked again down in the south. Our walls and turrets should, I hope, be able to hold that off. But we're definitely going to have to take a look down there. Let me get this blueprinted so that I can reuse it. I will just grab it from... let me cancel that real quick. And what I want to do is I just want to add in one more power pole. Okay, that should be fine. And we'll just keep going. Let me go back here and I'll start this. Get these poles stretched out here. I'll take it a little bit past where that copper patch is, or at least to here, because I'm going to have to chop down some trees. My robots can help me with that. In fact, let's get some of these going right now. Like, even if the robots are slow, they are still way faster than I am at cutting trees down, that's for sure. Alright, well, let's just bring this out a little bit. We'll get it over to the copper patch. Looks like we have two slow bots. Let's take a look at the map. I could go up on the left side, Or I could go up on the right side. What seems to be better? I think the left side would probably be better. Since we're going clockwise, it might be a little bit easier. I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. But I do need to come a little bit further. In fact, let's finish this let's finish this up where we're going to get going north, and I can end the episode on that. So we'll just clear out these trees. I'll have a sip of coffee while my robots do all the work. Almost got him. I'm running out of tracks as well, so I'm going to have to go down and get some more. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is we figure out where... let me collect my bots first. I just want to figure out where I want to bring this down vertically. As soon as my robot's charged, I'll go take a look. I think I can just look at the map. Yeah, I think where I'm currently running vertically is probably a good spot. So let's pick up this power pole. And let's get out our blueprint. Rotate it around. And let's drop that there. So while these guys build this, I just want to thank everybody for watching, and I really appreciate. I've been getting some thumbs up and stuff for my videos. I really do appreciate that. I'm not really looking for it so much, but it definitely makes me happy to see that. I totally do appreciate that. So yeah, thanks for everything. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Catch you later.